this is the main logic. Here you can see, obviously, if you create your application, you will be using some, you will have an option to upload the files. Here I'm just directly using, just for a demo, I'm using different links to show you. Now, if I show you, so this is one of my tool. Now, this is the most important part here. Okay, so you can see I have defined retrieve documents. This is our first node, and which we will be using our tool actually. So here you can see here I define my main logic of retriever. We are just invoking here, and this part, this doc string, actually is very important. You need to tell about the arguments that your function uses, what that function is about. This is very important, and we'll know why is it important now. So this is our first tool, which is retriever tool. And what we have done, nothing, just we have made our simple main logic. And it could be any tool. You can do, like, it is not specific to, you can have your any tool like writer tool, or any resume writer, or analyzer, or any visualizing tool, any tool which has some logic you want to write, and you can just convert that into a simple function. So this is our retriever tool. This is our first tool that we have registered. Now I am creating a second tool, which is a search tool. So I have imported the Tavily object from the LangChain, and I'm using, as I showed you, I'm using the Tavily API key, and there are free trial sums, so you can use that as well if you want to replicate it. So there are, for 1,000 requests for a month are free, so you can use that as well. So here, or there are open source tools as well, which one of them is the Go, which you can use from LangChain. So now I just created my second tool, web search. What it does is that it takes the query, and in the response we are taking the content, URLs. The simple. This is a second tool logic. So I think we are clear so far that we have two tools. First one was the retriever tool, and what we did is that we just wrote our complete logic and just converted the main logic into a single function. Or you can, maybe if you want, you can maybe put it inside a function as well. If you, so just for a good code practices, I just kept it separate. So here you can see this retriever object, I'm calling this here, and it is invoking the query, and this whole thing goes that our query takes, this tool takes our query, it converts our query into embedding, and then it goes to the vector search. It looks for the relevant documents, and it fetches those documents. This was the retriever tool. The second tool was search tool. Search tool is nothing, just a simple web search. It takes your query, it goes to the web search, brings out the documents. You can decide how many documents you want. There are other params as well, like max results. So you can do that easily. So this is our second tools, which is web search. So we have so far created two tools that we'll be using in our agent. First one was document retriever tool. Second was web search tool. This is the list that I have created for our tools. First one was retriever tool, this one, and the second web tool. So these are the tools variable where we have defined these tools. Okay. Now we are going to create an assistant actually. So first we need to define as we discussed about the state. So you can see here I'm defining a simple state class where I'm taking simple messages, and I'm actually using add messages. So what it does, as I mentioned previously, that I want to append the previous responses or to the next response, to the next node. So if you want, what it would do, it will not override, it will append. So if you do not want to append, you can just remove it. And there are other params as well that you can use. So here we are defining a general state, which is called state class. And here you can maybe define further variables as well. Let's say you want maybe some input state as well that you want to maintain. So it will take that and it will give to the, or some different plan. If you are using multiple agents, let's say planner agent, then researcher agent. So obviously in that case, you need to have a lot of state. Like you will have to the task of planner output, it would be one state. You can maybe like this, we can decide, and then maybe whatever if you want to string, or you can further another state that you want to maintain. So you can define based on define state. Here I'm using just a default state that Langla provides us. And here's the main logic that executes. So runnable are simple just function that does the work on the runtime.
Whether
So here
you
our
interrupt,
initial state, yes.
sorry to interrupt. I guess your voice is distorting right now.
Okay.
So can you
Okay.
just you check it? Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead.
so as I was discussing about the state, so you can see we can define our basic state, and which will be flowing between the different nodes. And after that, we have an assistant class. So what assistant class does is that it actually does the initial invoke. It takes our state and it decides either it needs to go to the tool or it needs to end it. So you can see here we have runnable function. What it does is that it does the uh, it does the decision making on the runtime, and what it is taking is it is taking our initial state, which will be giving as an input. So it could be our maybe initial query that will be taking. It will be invoking our runnable function